All right, welcome. So this is a video response to some questions a longtime Patreon patrons had. Shout outs to Waldemar. I appreciate you supporting through, I guess we're going on almost a year here, maybe even longer. I have to look. But yeah, so he had some questions about the Fold6, the scalpel, and the muscle, and then a combination of the 410 with the scalpel. So we're just going to go through those here real quick. The Fold6 is a wave folder, and I just run the mod base or any kick through it really. And as you can see in the input right here, the top part is a wave folder, the middle part, the shape, is an overdrive, and then the bottom is symmetry. You have two inputs, and so you can flip those around. And it does something else if you just have one. Okay, so the fold part, let's go ahead and kick this on. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to the Modbase 09 on its own. All right, so you get a good idea of that. The next thing we're gonna do is listen to the Modbase through the Fold6. Okay, there's no overdrive here, and it's very touchy. So let's turn this folding up, this wave folder. And if you don't know, a wave folder, instead of clipping the top of the wave, like if you had a wave going like this, instead of clipping it like right there, it actually just folds it back into itself. So the wave would look something like that instead of just a straight, like a mountain with the top chopped off. All right, so as you hear, it can get pretty wild. What I like to do is just turn it up and just barely. See, that sounds pretty normal, and then I turn it up some more, and then you get a little bit of like a thumpy sound in the top end. And the whole idea here is to add harmonics to the sound. And before I used to run this halfway, I think. No, never mind. I didn't do it that much. Okay, so you get that like kind of like a papery, thumpy sound on the top end. Now for the shape, I always just run it halfway. This is just an overdrive. All right, and the idea is to just add in just enough to where you hear it. And then back off a little bit. So I think this area is pretty nice in here. So we'll just run it at half. Yep. And that's pretty much it for the mod bass and the Fold6. That's been my kick combo for a long time, and even before I had the mod bass, I would run other things through it, other kick drums, and it just adds a lot of harmonics and punch to it. It takes you a lot further than you would get with just the module itself. Even editing the like the built-in saturation, it just this just takes it to another level. Great module. Yep. Okay, so up next we have the scalpel, and what this is, it's a simple idea, but it's kind of like a complex thing to get around. But I use the scalpel as a custom DJ style high pass, low pass filter. And basically what it has is 9 different presets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it interpolates smoothly between those presets, right? So if I had this, if on this preset, like let's say the top knob for just example was set to 10, and this one, the next one, preset 8 was set to, the top knob was set to 5, well, it would, in between those morphing, it would interpolate in the in-between, right? So it would smooth it out. So it'd be like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 until it hit that, the next preset. All right, so it's a cool way to get like a smooth transition between EQ presets. Now, where it gets complicated is I have to pull out the manual every time I want to adjust the settings on it, because I can never remember the combinations. Like, you have to hold a button for a while and then save it, and move your preset around, then or your settings, and then save it. So basically what I have, if I remember correctly, is in the middle on preset 5 is set to it's set flat. There's no boost, there's no cuts, there's no nothing. All right, and then so up to, on top on preset 9, I have it set to a low cut. All right, so what is I think it has 5 bands that you can adjust. All right, and then so when you get in there and change the settings, like, you can switch between the bands, and then you adjust these knobs accordingly. And so it's set to low cut, and then I just dial that into taste. And then for the next band, I actually added like a resonant bump to get a little more thump out of it, you know, because when you low cut or high pass, you know, you lose a lot of energy in the track. So what you want to do is add a little resonant bump there, and that keeps it kind of thumpy in the low end, or specifically with the kick. All right, so and then in the bottom, I have the opposite going. I have a high cut, and so as this moves down, it's like a low pass filter moving down the slope. All right, moving down the frequency range. All right, now you've been seeing this thing move on its own, but what I'm actually doing is I'm using the 410, which is an attenuator. Normally, if you don't have anything plugged into it, it actually sends out constant voltage, so 0 to 5, plus 5, right? And so now, this is really just a slider that's just sending out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right? And so that's CV controlling the morph feature on the scalpel. And you can see that morph A, it's a stereo module, so you can have a left and a right side. I have it set to morph A. That's what the 410 is going into, and it's changing the presets for both sides. All right, and so that's all that is. And so when I want to just play a track, okay, in the middle it's not doing anything, and then we're gonna high pass. And then when I want to drop back in, I go back to the middle. All right? And then I guess if you want to talk or something, we can do a low pass. Hey, what's up, everybody? Okay, check it out. And when you're ready to drop back in, you go back to the middle. All right? And so you can set that up however you want. And actually, I think a better use would be to instead of this low pass, I think I would like a band pass, because I would use the band pass a little more. Or add in a band pass on this channel right here, so it actually goes from normal to band pass and then high pass, or high pass up here or something like that. So anyways, there's a couple, you can do it however you want. That's the cool thing about it. Now, I will say that this is a digital module, and I just found out that it has a digital bypass. So it's actually getting sampled, I think it's 48 kilohertz. It might be 44.1. I have to look at the specs again, but check out the specs. And because your master mix is going through this, and I have to A/B it to find out, to see if it potentially degrades the signal in any way. But honestly, I've been running this for a really long time, for all of the Eat, Sleep, Techno, Repeat episodes, and it's been great. So I haven't really noticed anything bad. I am going to put in a overseer right here, and I'm going to use the overseer again, because much in the same way I have this setup to do the morph and stuff, I'm going to have this set up to do high pass, low pass, and band pass for that functionality. And the overseer is also analog. So I will do another comparison, because on the last video I did an A/B between the scalpel and the overseer, and I was unaware that it was a digital bypass. So yeah, great module. I mean, it's got so much functionality in such a small package, which is what I was after for a long time when I was just running the one IntelliGel case. So now I have lots of space, and I'm less worried about space now. Not trying to cram all that into one thing. Okay, and lastly, just really quick, the muscle. And I feel like it's kind of underutilized in this kind of way because you know, it's capable of side chain and you know, really smashing a signal nicely. And what I have it doing here is basically acting as a limiter. And honestly, I can never remember what the different settings on the switches are. But I just turn and flip them until I say, oh yeah, that one sounds the best, which I'm really not doing much to the signal. Let's see if I can get this. All right, and then so I'm gonna bypass it. Okay, so it's not really doing much of anything, but it's just gonna catch anything that goes above this threshold here. It's gonna catch that stuff and just smash it down. And that's really all I have it. I'm using it for is just a limiter. As far as the settings, there's a old Future Music tutorial video with Fred Falk, and he talks about using an SSL 4K and all his settings on it. And that's what I do. I do the exact same thing. I've been doing the same thing in Ableton as well. There's the SSL, the glue compressor, which originally was by Cytomic, which I had that plugin. And then Ableton, I guess, bought the rights to it, and so, or licensed it. And so now you have an SSL and 4K in Ableton, which is incredible value because, I mean, you don't have to pay any extra for it. It was a $100 plugin. So anyway, but back to the muscle, I use the same settings. And the idea here is only to get maybe 1 or 2 dB of compression, and you want to kiss the signal, so to say. And I use the same settings that Fred Falk had talked about, and that's the fastest attack, slowest release, and then just a little bit of threshold. And really, I'm just looking for that light to just barely turn on every now and then. And that's it. All right, cool. Until next time, hope this helps you out, Voldemar. Peace.